Welcome to Table Talk, where there's always room at the table. I am your host, Jonathan Harmon of the J Harmon Home Team, and we can't wait to talk to these fine guests. Enjoy the show. Trent. All right. Good afternoon. It's Jonathan Harmon of the J Harmon Home Team, powered by Keller Williams. And this is Table Talk. We've got a fun show planned, one that we haven't really ever done, which is surprising to me. What about you, Trent? He's not even on, but yeah, it's super surprising. So we're going to sit and talk with Trent about Spread the Positive and all things local here in Murfreesboro and supporting all the things that go on here, and especially all the things that Spread the Positive has their hands in. Before we do that, though, we have a little word from our friend Bryan Nale, now at Primis Mortgage, which I am super excited about Bryan making a move that's going to help him serve his clients and my clients sometimes even better. So let's hear from Bryan.
Hey, my name is Bryan Nale. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Primis Bank Mortgage, and I want to tell you that I absolutely love being a member of the Spread the Positive Network. It's such a great mission, and it helps bring so much positivity to our community. It's a true pleasure to be part of. There are a lot of ways to navigate financing a home, and in markets like this, having the advice of a trusted local professional is key to making sure you get the right advice for your specific circumstances. Whether you're interested in the purchase of a new home, second home, or have a need for a refinance, I'd love to earn your trust. If I can help you nail your mortgage, call me at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com, and I'll be happy to talk with you.
Primis Mortgage is a subsidiary of Primis Bank, a member FDIC, equal housing opportunity. As always, all loans are subject to approval. Primis Mortgage, NMLS 1894879.
Yeah.
All right. I dig the new music.
I know.
Yeah.
It's quite vibey.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I am digging that. That's good stuff. It kind of reminded me of like a elevator version of Daft Punk.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah,
see what you're putting down there.
It was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Nice.
Maybe we can just have that as the background music for the entire episode.
I mean, we could do that.
Just put it on a loop.
We probably could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the next time.
Okay.
Next time.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So this Trent Denson, usually he's behind the camera, but he has his own podcast as well. But on my show, at least, he's usually behind the camera. Does a marvelous job here at Spread the Positive. And, I just wanted to take some time and share with everybody about, we talk about Spread the Positive. But what do you do? Why do you do it? And how can people help?
Okay.
But also, I want to hear some stories. I want to hear about some of the cooler episodes that you've gotten to shoot. I want to hear about some of the cooler people you've gotten to meet, some of the stories that stand out, because there's
a lot of them.
My goodness.
How much time do we have? That's what a lot of people say.
And what's really cool about Spread the Positive to me is that we do this show, and Missy's show is somewhat similar, and Dean's show is somewhat similar as far as bringing in local people and all that kind of thing. But man, there's a whole bunch of shows that you guys do, that you do with other people that are totally different.
Yep.
I think of some of the body positivity stuff. I think of some of the really encouraging stuff, the Pastor Mike stuff.
Yep.
Some of the other stuff that you guys do, even a sports show that's fairly irrelevant, irreverent, not irrelevant, irreverent is the word I was trying to get.
Oh, JD's going to come for you on that one.
Yeah, man. I meant irreverent. And you know that you are, so you can't argue that. But I don't know. It's just cool what you've built out here and the things that you offer.
Yeah.
Spread the Positive.
Yeah. So where to start? That was a lot of questions to answer. So where should we start?
Let's start with this. Let's you got 30 some odd podcasts that are on the Spread the Positive network. Don't blame him if he leaves you out.
Yeah, please don't.
But just kind of name off some of the diversity.
Yeah, for sure. So got to give props to Danny D. She's probably been, and by probably, she's definitely been the most consistent and done it the longest. But her show is Love Your Body. She's a body positivity influencer, personal trainer, all around badass. Honestly, she's just a beast and doing some of the coolest stuff ever. But always big shouts to Danny. She's supported me for a long time, and that her pod's doing really well. And she's had some really big name guests on her show over the years, and Shape magazine people, and all kinds of stuff. So shouts to Danny. We got 2 bottles deep, of course. Wes and Philip have we're about to have like this, I think it's the 2nd year anniversary, or maybe just 1, but their
It's
show,
at least 2, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Because I've known about them for a year.
Right. And their show's incredible. Bridging the gap between the gay and straight community, as to
number 2 podcast in Nashville.
Yeah, according to Nashville Scene, that was a really cool award for them to get. They're killing it too. They put so much preparation and planning, and just truly care about what they're doing, and it definitely comes through with that. And it's so educational. It'll take you through all your feelings. You'll be laughing 1 second, thinking very hard 1 second, crying. I've cried on a bunch of those episodes. No shame in that. But yeah, we got Pastor Mike, the 11th hour, like you said, Endure Athletics. A place that's near and dear to my heart. I've been volunteering and been involved with Endure for going on 6 years now. I mean, I used to not miss a Saturday morning. It was like my go-to thing every Saturday morning, being able to kick it with the kids. And
well, Joel's built something really cool there, and if you don't know the story behind Endure, you need to look that up, because it's pretty cool how it all came about. Just working in a steel yard and
seeing it firsthand, and those little God moments where he nudges you, and he definitely took that leap. That's been just hearing firsthand from some of the kids and people that have volunteered, and they got some PA students from MTSU that are just, I mean, it just speaks for itself. Go and listen to any of the summer recap video or podcasts with them. It's really, like you said, what Joel's built is really special. Like, I'm not trying to toot my horn, but I've been around a lot of those types of programs over the years, and it's something, like I said, near and dear to my heart. But what he's created is super, super special. Just how a lot of times there's fighting and kids are like really at each other. There's just like, that doesn't happen somehow. It's just, and that starts at the top with him and his wife Jeannie and his 4 girls. It's so awesome what they've done. And they just they bought some land. They're building their like dream facility. I mean, just talk about what's going right. So Endure Athletics is another one. Waves of Awareness out in Franklin, individuals with special needs,
adults,
all ages. I mean, they go from like 0 to 80. I mean, they literally serve the whole spectrum there. It's been so fun, co-hosts with like Eric Wilson and Matt Moore, Johnny Sunshine, these guys that are just so happy. It's like impossible to leave there without feeling better. Got the Coach's Health Show, LT360 Coach's Health Show. Been doing that with Coach Scott for going on 4 years now.
So that's a long
and that's a radio show. We send that over to Cumulus every week, and it goes out Sunday nights at 7:00 prime time, relatively speaking. So over 10,000 listeners from what we understand. So I've been doing that show for quite a while, and I'm really, really proud of where it is right now. Coach has done a really awesome job kind of bringing, he calls them the spiritual street fighters. Dave Dalton, Jack Christians, Grant Smothers, Jan Dalton join sometimes. It's just literally very godly people talking about spiritual health and how to stay healthy at a cellular level through the LT360 programming. Amazing products, hydration products, CBD products, all that stuff. They're getting people off, all kinds of medications and changing people's lives through things that we know work, just eating right, having the right hydration, doing, CBD over pain stuff, and, just changing lives. So Yeah, man, it's been a journey. There's a lot more. Creating ambition with Tyler Gentry with Ambition Threads has been a pretty constant over the years. I know I'm forgetting a lot of people. Locally owned Murfreesboro has been so fun. Murfreesboro.com. I mean, there's NashVegas.com with John. Still in the works a little bit, but man, it's just been cool. The tagline, it's bringing light to what's going right. We get enough of what's not working. So, it's just been on my heart for a long time to create any type of counter to that. That's where the whole thing started. I remember being, 4 years old, 5 years old, and how my parents, my grandparents, everybody just drop what they're doing at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then turn on like everything that went wrong that day. And I remember thinking at a very young age, like that's just not how it should be. And
it's interesting. Bad news sells is what they always say.
Leads, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And what we're discovering and what we're seeing is that people are hungry for a positive message. They're hungry for something that feeds them rather than drains them. And there is a need for that market, for that product, if you will.
Right.
And that's cool, because that's what you're able to
mission,
provide.
Man.
And what's really cool is we're finding people that are willing to financially support that, but we're also finding people that have stories, that have messages, that have something to say, something to bring out, something to put in the public discourse to try to further that.
Yeah.
Her name is escaping me, but
Brandy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brandy.
Unapologetically me. Shouts to Brandy. That's been fun.
She's just got stuff that she needs to get out.
Yeah. There's a lot of positivity in that.
There is.
And she even uses the word controversial. I've usually steered clear of that word, no religion, no politics, no controversy. But the way that she's done it is it's a really positive approach, and it's yielded positive conversations. And like, you've hopped on a couple of times, and like, I know you love a good conversation about pretty much anything. So,
well, I want to be able to, and that's with the shift that we've had with this show is we want to allow that again.
Yeah.
We want people to be able to have a conversation again and disagree and still be friends.
Yep. I love that.
And it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard anymore. Like, people just don't. I hesitate to say they don't want to do that. It's like they've forgotten how to do that.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I'm glad I've watched that progression with you, and I've loved our conversations off mic about like how important that is. Some of the planning you've put into it, trying to get a committee together. I mean, we got a committee, and just having those conversations about this stuff is necessary. I mean, we have to. So yeah, it's fun, man. And just being able to, a lot of people have come through and like they have these awesome ideas and they don't know where to start, and just being able to just kind of walk them through that process is something. I mean, I take great pride in that, full disclosure, and I've gotten pretty good, if I can say so myself, just being able to be like, all right, well, we need these 4 elements. We need a title, we need a description, we need the artwork, and we need the first few episodes, and we can be off and running. So just kind of simplifying it to that level, and taking what might be all over the place ideas and kind of bringing it all together. It's just super fun. It's a very rewarding process.
Well, and I think that's what's so important about your approach to this is you could very easily try to tell all the stories.
Oh yeah.
Right. And just kind of control that. But instead,
no,
you enable other people to tell their stories.
Yes.
And man, there's a lot of peace in that. There's a lot of
it's therapeutic on my end.
Yes, satisfaction and
I love it. I mean, I love how more times than not when people leave from recording a podcast, they're like, man, that was awesome. Man, I feel better. Especially, I mean, with the STP pod, like that's the whole thing, like let's talk about what's working. Let's talk about gratitude. Let's talk about, what's going right. Just that alone, just those 3 questions, you're usually like, oh yeah, there's a lot of good stuff happening. Yeah. And
we forget about that.
I know. Yeah. There's those little things. So it's man, like I will say like 100% of STP episodes, like both parties leave like, yes, that was necessary.
Well, the funniest thing to me is when I invite a guest to be on, very often, not every time, but very often, they'll come in. So
I'm nervous.
what's the questions going to be? And, are you going to do this? And you're going to say that? And, this is, and they're just nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And we sit down. And I'm always like, listen, this is going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just going to talk.
Yep.
That's it. Forget that the microphone's here. Forget that the headphones are here. We're just going to talk.
That's it.
And definitely forget that the cameras are here. Right. And almost always, I think there's been like 2 exceptions.
Maybe
where we've gotten done and they're, well, that was short.
I know.
I'm like,
that flew by. That was
45 minutes.
That was a dang near an hour, man.
Yeah, that was super short.
Yeah.
And that was really easy. I'm like, well, yeah, I told you. I didn't lie to you.
We've been doing this. Yeah. No, I love that too, for sure. But yeah, it's really fun where we're at. And got to thank you for your support, man. You've been the space, a lot of things over the past several months and the year or so have been, I'm extremely grateful for your support and advice and just all the things, man. So thank you to you for sure.
Well, when you find something that's worth supporting, you support it.
That's real. I appreciate that.
All right. So don't think.
Okay.
Just answer.
Okay.
Most influential guest you've ever had. Most influential on you. Like biggest influence on you. Guest. Come on.
Man, that's tough.
That one right there. The one you're thinking right now.
Oh my gosh.
You're thinking too much.
Thinking way too hard.
Come on. You're not going to hurt feelings.
Man, that's crazy how many people are coming to, honestly, like the Joel Bigelows, the Ronnie Martins, there's so many. Jen Polson.
You got to pick one.
I don't think I can.
Yeah, you can.
I really don't think
the one where you walked out of here and went, holy crap.
Actually, I do know. Lisa Harless.
Okay.
Lisa Harless. She is a banker with Regions, and she has been in the entertainment and sports division on Music Row for 35 years. And I heard her speak at a GNAA, the apartment association, here in Nashville, and she literally said the phrase "spread the positive" in her speech. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to meet this lady, and went up and talked to her for a little bit, and her interview, like, and just her in general, like, she's been someone I've leaned on, and like we used to record in the Regions conference room. Anytime I needed to record downtown, I'd just hit Lisa up and, hey, can I record in the conference room so-and-so time? And it was always, I think it was once where they had a conflict or something and we just had to reschedule. But she's just a light, man. And she's done a lot for me, introduced me to some amazing people.
I knew you'd come up with
one. Lisa's way up there. You
gotta let go of the thinking.
Yeah, Lisa's way up there. There's so many though. Like there really is a lot. And all of them have different things you can take away and go back to and all that. So, we're pushing like 180, like 180 of them. So
that's a lot.
Yeah. So,
all right. Most famous guest you've ever had.
Most famous
in all of the pods.
Yeah.
Across
all of them.
Yeah.
Dang, who am I forgetting? I don't like this game. We just had Kaylin Curtis on. She has a #1 single with Struggle Jennings right now called God We Need You Now. She's on the Protein Snack Shop show. That one was really cool. Who's famous? Some of these country music artists that we've done for like Nash Vegas, and some of the other ones are pretty big. Chase McDaniel's blowing up. He's got a #1 projects blowing up, and he was talking about that song. He's like, I got this song project coming out and I got a weird feeling about it. Sure enough, like a week later, it's just going crazy on the charts. And that was a Nash Vegas connection. And then we kind of just from that interview, he's super passionate about mental health, and he's had his struggles over the years, and like that's his one of his main platforms that he really advocates for. And he came out here one night and we did a pod, and that one was memorable for sure. He's got a super inspiring story, and what he's doing is really impressive. So shouts to Chase as well.
All right, biggest surprise guest.
Surprise.
Like you had low expectations, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, what just happened?
Man,
and low expectations is not.
Yeah, that's not
exactly what I mean, but
Chase is up there for that one for sure. And then Jake Matthews, he's a photographer. Tried to, like, we'd crossed paths several times, and he had been on Tyler's podcast a few times, and finally got him out here. Man, he's that dude. Like, he's a globetrotter, like literally taking pictures all over the world. Right now he's walking across Spain, just walking across Spain, doing this like pilgrimage thing.
Wow.
His was amazing. Man, there's so many. This is hard. This is really hard. Honestly, like those early ones too. There's been some of those early ones where, like, I was nervous, they were nervous, everybody was nervous. But you still just get like these amazing stories, amazing, just, I don't know. There's several of those. Like, honestly, Robin C comes to mind. Her podcast, we joke about it all the time, but we were like editing and stopping and starting like 100 times, but the way it turned out was really good. And,
yeah. All right, here's one.
Yeah,
we're gonna shift gears.
All right.
A podcast idea.
Oh boy.
That you have, that you just got to get some legs to it, and you got to get somebody to back.
I'm gonna steal yours.
Okay.
The one stuff we should know, basically.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that I forgot how you phrased it. Basically, just stuff you should know, and then like get somebody that's an expert on that stuff, or you know. And now, I mean, that's basically your premise. That one's cool. What else, man? We've talked about a lot. I'd kind of like to get a little more, probably just more sports, just because I love sports. Like, I love JD Knows Nil, but maybe just a little more sports focused. I don't know. I'm
one that I pitched was all the other sports.
Yes, that
would be the title of it. All the other sports. Yes. So it's not football, it's not international soccer, it's not baseball, it's not basketball.
Ultimate frisbee.
It's all the other sports. It's the kickball.
Yeah, right.
Over here. Kickball. It's the axe throwing league. It's the whatever.
Dude, I gotta give another shout out. John Boyce and I, he brought up, just kind of more of just a local podcast just about that. Maybe not those types of sports, but just, it would be really cool to have a locally focused high school sports thing, just to interview.
He's the voice of Cumberland University, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he's really good, and we've talked about that some. I would love for that to, like, having rival coaches come in, dude. That'd be
fun.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So we've kicked that around some, but and actually Troy C with Legacy Inc., he's talked about doing something similar to that over the years. So
Troy'd be good at that.
I'd love to bring that together for sure. There's a lot, man. There's a lot.
So here's the thing. If any of that sounds interesting to you,
come on down.
That's it. So we need some help.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And how can folks help?
Advertise. So I've been pushing this thing we're calling the 3C method, or the triangle approach, where we have community, content, and connection all kind of supporting the community. Long story short, pick a local nonprofit, pick a show, and put your name on it. Basically, like, we'll use you and Bryan for an example. Bryan, Jonathan get together, support. They pick Endure Athletics for easy purposes. We get together, make some content around y'all actually going, supporting, doing the work. At Endure, either feeding, like bringing some barbecue. I know both of y'all are pretty nice on the grill, so just spending some time doing the work, actually living out the mission of Spread the Positive. And obviously we've got audio commercials to plug into shows, social media posts, reels, all the things that we can provide on the social media front. But in addition to that, it turns into more of a positive PR spend versus just a typical ad spend. So instead of spending $500 on Facebook ads, come work with us, watch what we do with it, like the whole impact over everything versus just putting your name on something or just your traditional advertising routes. The goal is podcasting with a purpose, impact over everything. So actually doing the real mission that we claim to live out over here. So we got a lot of causes that we're already directly connected with. food insecurity, mental health, veterans, special needs, those are really top 4. I mean, if you're doing those 4 things, you're probably supporting what needs to be done the most, in my opinion. So we got ties with Greenhouse Ministries, Journey Home, obviously Waves, Liberty Station, Amelia's Closet, all these amazing organizations that are doing the most impactful work. Like, for a fact, when you support those folks, for a fact that it's going right where it's needed the most.
And right here.
Right. At Murfreesboro Muslim Youth, they're on deck to start their podcast. Can't wait to do that.
I'm excited about that.
Me too. I can't wait. Shout Sabdu and the whole team over there. That's another thing, man. Like, I kind of want to nip that in the bud before it's ever an issue. But yes, absolutely. MMY has a great, like, they have a place here, no questions asked, and that's something I've always kind of, again, when I said I kind of steer clear of politics and religion, I truly believe, there's a lot of, like, living out your truth, and your truth is positive, like that's fundamentally what we're here to do, in my opinion. So if it's contrary to my beliefs, or it's contrary to, like, what I personally do or believe, I don't care. Like, I want to, like I said, I've learned so much from the Two Balls Deep show. Like, I'm, heterosexual white male, check all those, check all those boxes, pretty heavy, but I've learned so much from, their show, and them, them asking these really tough questions, and them having guests on that have gone through stuff that I could never imagine. It's important to be an ally, like, not just say you're an ally, but really be one. So, that just because that type of show is on the network, I mean, that's what this whole thing's about. Drop the labels.
And it's amazing how many people will write off something because it doesn't fit their exact narrow worldview. And
I kind of felt it already. I'm like, cool, you're not the right fit.
Yeah, and
that's all right.
And there's Missy was on here, and I got passionate with her a couple, not like with her,
right,
but with her on the show about a situation like that, where, if there's one single person that makes a tremendous impact in this community, it's Missy Lay.
Yes, hands down.
And anyway, I don't even want to revisit it, but
right.
There was a moment, and it's like, look, there's a population that needs help.
Straight up. That's where it stops.
And it doesn't matter what that population is.
Right.
It doesn't matter what that population does. They need help.
Yeah.
And I think that's where one of the more surprising groups, and definitely one of the more surprising people that I've met in the last probably 10 years, maybe more, is, you mentioned Abdu.
Yeah.
And, we all know what we know because of whatever we've watched. Well, let me just tell you, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Unless you've met Abdu.
Yeah, right.
And all of his kids.
Yeah.
And
they do more than anybody. They put them up against anybody. Like, impact.
And it doesn't.
If you talk impact over everything, they live that.
And it doesn't matter.
See a
who
need,
they
address
are.
a need.
Doesn't matter who they are.
No, never does.
They don't even ask.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
They are living
that
life of
that
service.
is spread the positive. Like, MMY and Body spread the positive dang near better than anything I've been a part of.
Better than me, and I do a decent job at it.
Same. Yep, you're right.
So, okay, let's see what else we got. We got just a couple more minutes left. What are some cool things that are coming? Some events, some opportunities.
Well,
what's coming?
Yeah, we've been teasing it for a while, but my Lost and Found sisters, if you're not familiar, it's quite the story. Shouts to Keela, Dixie, Cassie, all the ladies with my Lost and Found sisters.
I've heard a little bit about this.
Man, so Keela did, no spoilers really. Keela did a DNA test in 2020. Ended up finding out that she had 5 siblings she didn't know about, and a different biological father
than what she thought.
Yes, up until literally 2 years ago. Like,
wow.
Thought she was an only child. I mean, it'd be like me finding out that I had 5 siblings somewhere. Like, I can't imagine. And Yeah, I'll let y'all check the show out. It's wild. It's a story of redemption. It's a story of family, no matter what. Like, it's really awesome, and also really crazy. Like, your jaw will stay.
So what are they going to tell the story over multiple episodes?
Oh yeah, so we've been just laying the foundation on like their story, how they found out about each other, what that was like, how they've been, spending time now. It's wild. Like, the biological father was a habitual felon, like quite the criminal. He is. I mean, it's insane. Like, it's one of the craziest things. It needs to be a reality show. It probably will be eventually. But they got man, it's crazy. They went super viral on TikTok. Like, got 5,000 messages one day just about similar stories and people wanting to connect. So we got content for days.
Yeah,
like we'll get their story like really laid out, and obviously be able to tap into that anytime. But being able to hear from people around the world that have similar stories or whatever.
Dude, that's the stuff movies are made of.
100%.
I mean, I've seen those movies.
Yes, it very well should be. That one's on deck. We also got Soldier's Child. Are you familiar with the Soldier's Child?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. Daryl and his team, that's already been pretty amazing.
So Daryl and I used to teach together at Blackman.
Dude, yeah.
We were there at the same time.
He was like cooking,
he was
right?
culinary.
Yeah.
I was economics.
Yeah.
I coached wrestling, and he kind of popped in every now and then.
Nice. Yeah.
Super guy.
Yeah, he's great. So much energy. Like, he's got a lot of energy.
It's exhausting. Yeah.
Yeah, but shouts to Daryl. I actually got a chance to go up to one of their camps they were doing up in Kentucky.
That organization
it's amazing,
exploded.
Dude, it's amazing what they do. I went to their banquet several years ago, and got the 30,000 feet, and it was obviously really impressive what they were doing then. But man, what they're up to now, it's pretty awesome. So
based in Smyrna, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, literally giving presents to the children of our fallen until they're 18 years old, like every birthday. And they got camps, and they got, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but when we were out there at the camp, man, just hearing these kids say like, yeah, I have friends at home, like I got people that support me and like have been great to me, but there's just a different level of support when everybody's kind of in that same boat. Man, it was powerful, dude. Like I was, of course, wiping a few tears and doing what I do, push and record. But that's on deck. MMY, like I mentioned, we're gonna get them rolling soon. There's always a lot of people saying they want to do stuff. We'll just see what actually transpires. But those are.
And it comes back to support. There's so many stories.
The advertising. I mean, the advertising is really needed. And my whole thing is we'll make content until you're happy, like put your name on some of these shows. We'll obviously have audio commercials in every episode. Every social media post will be brought to you by Bryan Nale, all that, for example. But we got monthly packages from like $100 to $5,000. Like, we're looking for bigger corporate sponsors to like really facilitate.
And what a better way to spend your advertising dollars than to tie it to something super positive
and the impact. That's what I mean. I always quote Troy on this. Troy with Legacy Inc. Shouts to my guy over there. He always said, if you make people compete on impact, nobody loses.
That's right. That's good.
Yeah. So I like
Troy.
We need to get him in here more often. We'll just let him talk, and you will learn stuff for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate the opportunity to be on this side of
Can you appreciate the opportunity to be on a show that you produce?
Yeah, of course. Be on the other side of it. Yeah, man. This is cool.
Awesome. Well, y'all, if you have any questions about Spread the Positive, if you have any, want to dig a little deeper on having a show or supporting a show that already exists, or pick up some of those ideas, and maybe you don't want to be on this side of the microphone, but you want to write a check.
We need help too.
Yeah.
If y'all have any interest in learning any of this stuff, or being in on sessions,
helping edit.
Yes.
Yeah. All of that.
Welcome.
Yep. So we would definitely welcome that. We've got some other cool stuff. We do the Cedar Glade Acoustic Garage. That's almost over for season 1. We'll pick that back up in the wintertime. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you do.
Get some panels going again. Try to get the panels going. So yeah, we got some really cool stuff on deck. So
for sure. Well, I appreciate all that you do.
Man,
I appreciate the Spread the Positive mission and all the people that support it and participate in it. You guys are all rock stars as far as I'm concerned. Really appreciate Bryan Nale for supporting this show in particular.
Thank you, Bryan.
I keep playing with this local sticker.
Marissa.
This is from Marissa Callie.
Yep, shouts to Marissa. Sticker
we love
queen.
you, Marissa. Sticker queen. I have one from her that says God did. So
you got one?
I got a God did.
You beat me to it. I want one of those really bad.
So anyway, give us a shout.
They didn't believe in us.
But God did.
God did.
If you need a mortgage, hit up Bryan Nale. If you need anything real estate related, give me a shout. We'd love to help. Hope you have a good rest of the week. Talk to you again soon.
All right.